eat like slaves anymore because we're not slaves.
If you cannot control what you eat, then you cannot control what you feel.
Eat your largest meals in the middle of the day, not the end of the day.
What part the homeostasis plays, you're on your way to healing yourself. The homeostasis is the internal environment where your body is at its ultimate functionality for healing. Just keep in mind that everything that is happening to you is happening for you.
Well, we're here. We're knocking on the door to 2024. Man, oh man, this is really great. I'm so happy that we're here to have another wonderful day, that we can start off in this wonderful way. And we know that everything that is happening to us is happening for us. Today we're gonna have a really great show because there's so many people that's been asking the questions like, how do I get started? I want to get started, but I don't know what to do. So we're gonna talk about that today. Let's knock it out. We only got an hour of power coming right at you. Make sure that you reach out. Let's get some people in here. All right. Before I go on, I got to bring up the young lady that is truly responsible for us being so steady and saying, hey, we got work to do. We got, come on, let's go. The inspiration and just the wonderful, warm atmosphere that she brings with her wherever she goes. And I'm really thankful for her help. And I'm talking about no one other than the great Carolyn Gentle. Woo!
Hello.
You hear all the thunderous applause.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, it's really it's how's the weather where you are?
It's great. It looks like it's gonna rain, but that's okay. You know. Yeah, how about you?
It's I'm inside, so that's all. I'm inside.
Yeah. Right. I like to be inside when it's raining. If I have to travel and it's raining, it becomes a bother, but not so much when I'm inside. Yes.
Especially in LA, boy, be like Arsenio Hall said, it was grown men on the side of the road. It's raining.
Oh no.
So what we're talking about today, Carolyn, is we're talking about how to begin a whole food plant-based lifestyle in 2024. And this is going to be, I'm sure, one of the most wonderful shows to get people started. So those of you that aren't here and you are not here live, you can always do this on the playback and you can listen to it. And we're really, really thankful. I think we got, what was the count that we got? We got so many people, so many views last week. My goodness, y'all went crazy.
Yes, that was our top viewed stream so far, and I was just so happy when I saw it. So
excellent.
Yeah, that was great. I see Shirley's tuning in. Good morning. It's raining here in Menifee. Hopefully you're staying dry, Lily.
It sounds like she in the tent. You know, she probably, I'm sure she inside, right? Well, anyway.
Well, I hope so.
Shirley Gentle Smart is in the house, and we're definitely thankful for her and all her contributions that she's made to this wonderful The Mind of Nature presentation that we have every Saturday. So committed, just the absolutely incredible human, period. And there's other accoutrements that we can add on to that. But we just want you to know that we really appreciate you, love you, and we're going to do some great things. We're going to do some great things. We're helping people, and Shirley is she is a RN. She's a nurse, and she is a brilliant nurse on top of that. So we're just so wonderfully blessed to have her here. So
Absolutely.
let's get going while she's here, because I'm sure her time is limited like ours. We want to get in, get it done, move on. So before we do that, we want to see what's on Carolyn's mind. What you got on your mind this morning?
What's on my mind? Well, I mean, you know, a new year coming up, and you start thinking about different things that you want to accomplish in that new year. One for me is to just be steady with my health, and continue to be on that journey of just being healthy, you know, making healthy choices. And not only it benefits for the things that you do, the people you're around, what you put your energy to, you know, things like that. So that's what's going on with me, you know, new year, new me. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with new year, new me. You know, sometimes people hear it and they say, "Oh, that's new year, new me," whatever. No, it should be. You should want to be better, I should say.
Yeah.
New year, better you every year. So that's what's going on with me. How about you? What are you looking forward to in 2024?
Well, I'm looking for a better relationship with myself first, so that I'll understand those things that make me up. I say that in my prayer. I say that in my activities. I think about those things on a daily basis, and it is from moment to moment. That's how we're living. And I can make those moments better by understanding me better. I
Mhm.
know that I'm way more powerful than I've discovered thus far. And it's exciting as I look into myself to find out more about myself. Excuse me. Mm. To
Mm.
find out more about myself, so that I am able to do more with myself, and that is to help others, and that is to educate, and that is to serve, and that's what I look forward to. Once I get the understanding of myself first, and I have a strong relationship with myself, I can deal with all the other stuff. All the other stuff is there's just their projects, you know.
Right.
Medicine is a project, raising a family is a project, going to school is a project, shopping, whatever, investments, all of that's a project. But once we know ourselves, once we start in understanding you, and I think this is a great time for me to define that, because it's not just like I love myself, because we take it so lightly. I'm really talking about understanding the functionality of your brain, that understand the functionality and the purpose of your spiritual self, understand your limits, understand the boundaries. We all have to have boundaries. No matter how close you are with somebody, set some boundaries. And those boundaries will give you the limits, and it'll let you know what's unlimited if that's it. But we know that we're finite. We understand that we have a lot going on as humans, and you can see this as we continue to discover things in the artificial intelligence. Now, just imagine we are the intelligence, and that's how we communicate through that intelligence. But now, artificial intelligence, uh, the discoveries that we're are presenting and expressing through how we understand, we got to understand ourselves first. You see,
Absolutely.
so it's that's where I am with that. So we're going to Carolyn, you want to go ahead and set it, and we'll go ahead and do it.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. And thank you to everyone who's joining us here today in the Mind of Nature. Woo, our last stream of 2024. This is really exciting. For anyone that's joining us right now, please share the stream, share it out. We are live on YouTube. We are live on Instagram and on Facebook. So everyone that's on those platforms, please share them out so we can bring other people in so they can be a part of the conversation. Today's topic is how to begin a whole food plant-based lifestyle in 2024. So that's going to be really exciting. If you haven't already and you are on YouTube, please follow or subscribe to the YouTube channel. There's a lot of great things coming on the YouTube channel. For anyone that's listening that's not on YouTube, the YouTube channel is Dr. Farid Zarif. So that's where we want to be when we're on YouTube. So I'm so hyped. I'm so ready for this stream, Dr. Zarif. Let's take it away.
Excellent, excellent. And we want to welcome Chinizi Ndukwe. Thank you very much for being here this morning. Really great to see you. And oh man, this is great. So, all right, everybody, let's put on your seatbelts because we want to go ahead and start. We want to talk about how did you get started if you want to start eating a little healthier. Okay, we got my dear never mind, I'm gonna move on. So we where was I here? We're actually going to talk about getting started because this is the most important thing that we have to do is not only have the idea but put things in motion. Now, it doesn't take too much to get started. The big problem that we have as far as fails are concerned is that we take on too much. We want to do too much and we end up being miserable fail. We fall, we fail. But the thing about it is that we can always pick ourselves up, and if you start off in January, remember, you want to write this stuff down. You just don't want to get the idea, or you're pumped up, you're motivated for a second, and then by February, it's all down the drain. Now, you have most people are like, hey, this is the beginning of the year. This is what I'm going to do and all that. But we can't stay still enough to even do what we need to do. So and that requires discipline. That requires getting out of the bed at a certain time and going to bed at a certain time, eating at a certain time and not eating at a certain time, drinking at a certain time and not overdoing that at a certain time. All of that has, these are some of the pointers to make a better choice at choosing something for yourself. Now, there are many people that suffer from low self-esteem, and we talked about that in one of our presentations. And these are people that don't like themselves. They think very low of themselves. They don't believe in themselves. And that's why you hear me iterate, know thyself first. Know yourself first. There's many distractions. There's so many distractions that's going to take you right out of the very heart of your belief about yourself, because most of these systems that have been set up way before you were born, your mother was born and her mother was born, they're systems that are set up that's made for you to fail and not to love yourself and to depend on these systems. And these systems can be quite very, very destructive if you should abandon yourself. So please take these notes and let's go ahead and make this a better year to come. Now, there's a 90-10 approach that you can use when you are starting this off. Just know that you're going to do 90%, be a 90%er, do 90% and then allow yourself about 10% to do those things like, eat a certain thing or to drink a certain beverage and so forth. Now, I'm saying that, not saying for you to go and do something that is deleterious, something that is destructive. I'm saying this so that you would make choices, so that you would empower yourself with those choices. And it's going to take a while. So I know that you're not going to just start right off cold turkey. Some people can. It's very rare. It's very rare. So make sure that you are taking it easy on yourself. Don't bite off more than you can chew. It's just as simple as that. Just set it up by, begin by, or getting more involved with you by writing down. You need a strategy. So write these things down. Just don't like, yeah, I know this and I know that. Most of the stuff that you've learned, especially when it comes to nutritional science, is all a fallacy anyway, because most people that are teaching it aren't teaching it from a scientific point of view. They're teaching it from a personal point of view. And this for years have definitely led us down the wrong or in the wrong direction. So we start off when talking about eating healthy, we're talking about good nutrition, which is a foundation of our health. And that means that making better food choices in 2024 is one of the things that will help us stay healthy. But you got to start off with healthy food. What is healthy food? Just to start off, we know that if we increase the fruit, the raw fruit and vegetables, like right now, this is what I'm eating for the so-called breakfast. Water is just incredible. You know why? Because there isn't anything in your body that can go without it. Everything about you physically has to depend on the water. Over here, I have some fruit, and I have fruit because I really love the energy that we get from the fructose and the small amount that's needed in order to get you going in the morning or during your first hour. Very important. Now, some people wake up and they have the sausage and bacon, and they have grits, and they have coffee and bagels and Danish and all of this stuff. But those are diabetes foods that time of the morning and in that combination. Now, you can get some of the things that are very healthy, and that's what we're going to be talking about today, choosing, making healthier choice. Indeed, with our focus being on the whole meat-free and oil-free foods, you can be sure that every bite that you put in your mouth will be bursting with the things that your body and your mind needs to thrive. And that's what's super important. We want to thrive. We don't want to exist, and you don't want to be in that survival mode. Survival mode is just the mode that you will put whatever it takes in order for you to not be hungry. And that's the way many of us eat. Even if we start getting paid a certain amount that we can afford all these foods, because that's also a complaint. That stuff is so expensive. I don't want to eat. No. Yeah, there are, when you see a little bit, I saw that the other day I was shopping and I saw some organic celery that looked like somebody shrunk it, and I was like, man, what in the heck is this? This shouldn't even be out here. And there was only one left. And I end up getting the commercial celery. Of course, I wash my vegetables and fruits anyway. So, but I got that, and I just like, I want to tell you that so you understand also that, this ain't about you being a saint. Don't feel like you've sinned just because you bought something that's not organic. Go to support the farmers. So you can go to the farmers markets, the people that have these fresh foods out for you that you may be able to share, the knowledge that they want to share with you. And we also want to do things just to better our bodies by not stressing ourselves out buying something that, like, man, I spent $8 for that, and it only costs $2.49 over here. All those things are real. So of course, use your own common sense to purchase that, but don't be afraid to make a mistake or to slip up a little bit, because every moment is a chance to start anew. Now, I want you to focus on the plant foods. Plant foods, you will find the plant foods in meat and dairy and junk foods. Also, they're really, there's a lot of these takeaway products, stuff that you can buy and just open and eat right away. And these vegan junk foods, along with other plant-based foods or plant-based diets, you will find that, again, we don't do anything but substitute the meat, we substitute the dairy products, and we overdo it. So that's not the whole purpose. The purpose is that you want to choose food that is rich in nutrients. They're nutrient dense foods. That's what is meant by nutrient dense. You want to choose the foods that'll keep you healthy and reduce the risk of disease, infection, illness, and mortality. That's what we're doing. We want to get away from doing things that are hurting the body, the things that are making us sicker, things that are making us taking us away from the best person that we can be. Now, one of the things that we want to remember is that in the things that we're talking about today, when I'm talking about eating, there's going to be some other questions in your mind. So simply just put them there, right there in the comments, and we'll get to those things and see if we can complement them with an answer, a resolution, or an idea. So I'm going to continue with the idea of these base foods, because when we talk about the vegetables and the fruits, the legumes, the tubers, which are potatoes, the whole grains, quinoa, tofu, nuts, all of those things, along with the seeds, avocados, all of those things that should be a part of your grocery list. Now, if you're still buying the same thing that you've always bought, then look at that too, because that's for 2024. We want to do things a little differently, add something different, do something just like you will wear something differently this year. It's the same, or you'll get rid of other things this year. It's the same thing when it comes to food. You want your food to be delicious, but you want to enjoy the food, knowing that food will help you reduce the risk of illness. And here is Chinese says keep a journal, which is really great, because that's one of the ways that you can always just flip back. What did I eat last Monday? And it's there. Oh, good. I'm going to eat that again. Or there might be things that you want to pick up in the supermarket. There it is you wrote it down. Now, if you are a pro and you've been doing this a long time, well, you know what? That's important too, but don't take yourself for granted. It's very easy it's very easy to forget some of these things, especially when you're busy. You got a lot of things on your plate. Next thing I want to talk about is to move your body. You got to move your body more. And that is like really that the stuff that people have been saying for years. I started Funkinetics at fitness years ago, back in, I believe that was, wow, Funkinetics started in the 80s. Yeah, in the 80s. And I think it was in 1989. And I started that particular workout style because I love funky music. I love the whole party atmosphere without drinking and smoking and all that. But I mean, really, and I'm so thankful to everybody that came out to my fitness classes to really be in touch with, our culture. And I'm talking about funky music. I'm talking about great lyrics. I'm talking about great arrangements, all of that stuff. So I'm very, very happy to report that still is paying off big dividends today. So get yourself to moving. Grand Rising, and what up, though, to D Coates here. Diva D, thank you so much for being here. We love D Coates. We love Diva D. She's just one of the most incredible humans you'll meet. Always a blessing to hear from her. As we continue to say hello to Yolanda Rogers. Oh, I see your photos. You're looking good. Good morning and blessings to you. Happy New Year to you also. Here's I think a question here. It says, does plant-based mean eating foods from the ground or off the tree? Wow, that's a great question. No, whole food plant-based. Plant-based simply means the source is from plants. That's plant-based. And the whole food, when you say whole food, plant-based, again, plant-based is from the source, but it isn't from a whole food doesn't mean from a tree or the ground. It actually means the food that you are actually making at home, like not something that's been broken down and cut up and sliced and diced for you. So that's food that have been overly processed. Whole food means not using processed, or especially that word refine. Refine is processed, and they extrapolate all of the nutrients from that particular food, and then they add it back to it. So you'll see the word enriched, which I was very misunderstood earlier this year when I was talking about enriched. Some people thought I didn't know what I was saying. They know processed foods, this and that, but you know, it takes time for people to adjust to a new way of looking at things. And I know I'm very innovative. I'll say things that people haven't heard before, and therefore they'll get a little, I would say they would feel a little uncomfortable because they're used to hearing it another way. So we'll keep working with that. Um, the thing, what was I talking about? Yeah, moving your body, getting fit, making sure that you got a lot of blood and heat going to your joints, and finding out something that you love to do so that you don't get all tired of it. Because people get, the biggest reason people don't work out or continue working out is because they become bored. You have to take responsibility for that. Get up, move about, have a ball with it, smile, be around people that focus and they're talking about and being about what you're about. Do not take your time being around foolish people that throw away their advantages or their opportunities to live better. This is super important to everybody. And I am not preaching to you. I'm teaching you how to make yourself first. In order, Carolyn said earlier when she was asking me about what's important to me, and I said, me first. I have to have myself at the top of priority list. And when you do that, you turn out better, or you get better results than you would if you were just to put yourself to the side and not speak to yourself, not find out. And I know that sounds spooky, and people speak to yourself. Yeah, I do it all the time. Things when I'm thinking about stuff. If you're not done that, but live long enough, and you probably will. Oh, thank you for the hearts, everybody. I really appreciate this. My beautiful daughter, Amira, hi, sweetheart. It is great, Dr. Dad and Miss Carolyn. Oh, good morning to you too. And I'm sure Carolyn is saying good morning too. Thank you so much, sweetheart. I love you. This is really great. Amira, what are the base food, plant-based foods that are high in protein? Okay, good. That's a great question. The plant-based foods that are high in protein are those foods like your, well, first of all, let's go to the vegetables. Vegetables like broccoli, for instance, is a good source of protein. Alone, kale is a great source of protein. The plants that are deep, richly green, they're also high in protein, great sources of protein. Legumes, which are the beans, your grains, your seeds, all of those are great sources of protein. The tofu and tempeh, that's a great source of protein. You only need, for women, you only need like 40 grams of protein per day. Men need 50 grams of protein per day. When you overdo it, then it leads or makes you vulnerable for other diseases and infections and so on. So thank you for that question, Amira. I didn't include nuts, but I will, because they are also high in protein. And when you think about protein, remember, let's talk about what does protein really do. Protein is the substance that helps our body to heal. It helps us to proliferate muscle. When a person is emaciated, what happens is that they have this soggy arm or the hanging from their neck, or you're going to age in gravity. I mean, we're not able to escape that. However, we are able to keep our skin soft, and to keep our hair growing, and to keep our skin radiant, and our hands from wrinkling up. All of that stuff is a part of what we eat. Some of us are just beautiful humans. We're just born like that. I mean, you see so many people, and you may be one of them, that you're just beautiful because of your DNA. So I can understand when I see women throw their hair back, and I can understand when women are taking time to make up their bodies. I love that because it really rubs off on me good, because I'm about grooming. I don't go to the extent that a female does, of course, but I really appreciate and respect women that take time to do their hands. Everybody got the choice, but I make sure that my toes, my hands, my everything. I'm plucking hair out here. I'm cutting this. All those things that help us to groom ourselves. And I really appreciate women that take their time to do that. People that take their time to take care of themselves. That in itself, not if you overdo it, because I have talked to people that can't even look at me in the eye if there's a mirror around. That is a little extreme. But even with that, we can take it lightly. Diva D says, okay, I've lost weight. All right. Yeah, let's give it up right there. All right. Yeah, I've lost weight, but I stand still. I'm still moving, but how do I get weight to restart? Well, I see she's saying that she's in a weight plateau. When you reach these plateaus, it doesn't mean that you're not being successful. It just means that you got to change it up a little bit. So if you've been walking, you want to jog. If you've been jogging, you might get on a bike. If you're on a bike, you want to get on a treadmill. If you've been doing one thing, you might want to do some multiple things. You see, it's just as simple as that. Get involved with doing something differently. Remember, the number one reason that most people don't take care of themselves is because they get bored with themselves. They get bored with who they are and what they are. When you don't understand how incredible you are, it's really hard to do anything that is out of the norm, because you're so used to doing the standardized thing. I did that 2 times. I quit. That ain't nothing. Or I don't want to do that anymore because, every time I do it, I sweat and then I mess up my hair. You have it. It goes on and on. But you find out that you end up making that circle and you're doing the same. I beat myself out. You're doing the same stuff that you've been doing for a long time. We want you to do something that is different. And this will restart, get you out of that plateau. You don't have to fill yourself with all these medications, and you don't have to drink even the herbs. Those herbs are mostly laxatives. So when people are talking about, yeah, I did the full this and I did the full that and I detox this and I detox that, I'm sorry, I don't mean to be disrespectful, but I first of all, usually I don't cut a person off. Oh, this is the truth about that. I don't. If that's your thing, do it and do it well. But as you grow, start adding more things to your toolbox, because your toolbox will be full of your jewels. So the toolbox turns to your jewel box, and you're on your way to doing things differently and being more efficacious as you move through life. Now, a lot of people will argue with me and they'll say other things they like to eat this way. You got keto and paleo, and you have the South Beach diet. You have Atkins. I know all of them. And it's not going, any one of them can be in some kind of way, can give you a couple of changes as you eat that way, because again, with the power of change, if you change up, yeah, you can eat these diets, and you will find that you'll get something from them. That's why they've made millions of dollars. But when you do some things, like you actually take time to know more about yourself, eat according to the way that you live, eat according to the way that you want to feel, eat according to the kind of energy that you need for your lifestyle. All of these are important points to acknowledge when it comes to making you a better you. So I'm glad I'm diabetic free and no medications for 64. I'm glad. Appreciate you keeping us informed, Dr. Z. That's from beautiful Yolanda Rogers. You're more than welcome. I am very, very proud of you. That's really, I mean, it's really just so wonderful to see how you really turning. You look younger, you look happier, you look just so, you're doing a great job. Yolanda also wrote that just tagged over 200 your way. Oh, good. 200 folks that need to listen. So thank you very much for that. That's really, really, I really appreciate that. And I'm sure Carolyn does too, because we work really hard to put this, to get this information to you on a daily basis. Yolanda also writes that I believe that there's no such thing as a diet. It's a lifestyle change. Yeah, it's a play on words and it's semantics. We don't want to get caught up in that. But yeah, if it is, there are lifestyle changes, and you're absolutely correct. And it is be about that, those things that can help you to achieve the goal. If you're just dreaming, I got this from Denzel Washington. Denzel Washington said, if you only have dreams and you're dreaming about it, it doesn't become a goal until you add a start date and a deadline. So anything that you're talking about you're going to do, if you haven't used a start date and a deadline, most likely you're not going to get around to it. I was busy. I didn't have enough money. They didn't have the food. I was out of town. All of those things on the excuse list just comes down one after another. And that's exactly what we want to change for 2024. I'm going to stop right here. Carolyn, why don't you go ahead and jump in and share what's on. I'm bringing you up here. Oh, you're up. Good. Okay. So, Carolyn, go right ahead. Carolyn, you're muted. Carolyn?
Let's try that again. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
all right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Dr. Zarif. And thank you to everyone that's joined us here in the Mind of Nature. And thank you all so much for dropping your comments and just being active in the comments. That's always so much fun. You know, I get to put your comments up there and highlight you. So thank you so much. Today, we are talking about how to begin a whole food plant-based lifestyle in 2024. And there's no one better to bring that information to us than Dr. Zarif. Thank you all so much. And Yolanda, wow, you said you shared with about 200 people. That's always so great. And I've said it before and I'll say it again. Please, let's not keep Dr. Zarif a secret, you know, because he's been putting in the work for so long, and the information that he's given out, you're not going to get that information from anywhere else. So I always appreciate it when someone says they've shared, you know, when you guys come to the streams, when you guys are involved and just being a part of the conversation. It's just so much fun and just really appreciate it. So I want everyone to know that. Thank you so much for that. Really, really appreciate it. If you are listening on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram, again, thank you guys so much. On Instagram, if you would like to come in and have your comments show up on the screen, you can jump over to the YouTube channel, because that's how you'll be able to be a part of that conversation too, just so in case anyone's listening on Instagram. I see Unhail And Eclipse Soleil, thank you so much. Eclipse Soleil says, Happy New Year's. We had a great 2023. I'm looking forward to seeing you in 2024. It's going to be fabulous. Thank you. Thank you. And yes, thank you so much for joining us, Eclipse. I see you all the time. Thank you so much for that. And Unhail, this is for you, Dr. Zarif, if you want to answer this question. It's Angel. She says, are you still doing Sunday rooms on Clubhouse? And I'll bring that back to you, Dr. Zari.
Well, you can stay on if you want to. I just I wanted to, before I answer that question about, well, I can answer that. I am not there on Sundays anymore on Clubhouse. There might be something in the future for me continuing over on Clubhouse. I have gone on other shows on Clubhouse in the different rooms and participated in there when I can squeeze out a few minutes. But no, I'm not there. I'll be using mainly the YouTube Dr. Farid Zarif channel, and we'll be talking from here as we are building a wonderful following here. And plus, I'd love to see your faces. And if you don't, you're not ready to come up on stage, we have that option. You can, be in the audience, and I love going back and forth with you with your comments. My brothers are here. Carl, when you see down here, this is Michael. You'll see Carlisle, but Carlisle M is actually Michael Carlisle. That's my brother. We've been, we've been in each other's lives for. It even sounds funny when I'm saying we've been in each other's lives for, because we've been like damn near from the cradle. And I want to thank him for being here. He is definitely one of my very highly inspirational brothers. That smart is brilliant, just wonderful, beautiful family. I just want to say thank you very much for being here and taking time, Michael, because I really appreciate you. Love you, man. And a brother that I definitely love. And respect highly. And man, we have done so many things together, and great laughter and great sharing of all types of experiences, especially like basketball. And we played years together. Brian Curtis. Brian Curtis is one of the most brilliant guys I know. This guy is brilliant. I mean, IQ off the charts. He runs his own businesses. He's constantly flying in and out. He's just really wonderful, brother. Brian Curtis, thank you so much, brother, for being here. I just want to say, man, I love you. And we're going to keep supporting each other, from the cradle to the grave. That's just the way it is. Beautiful family also. So thank you so much. Yolanda says that Mike is my bonus brother, and I love you too, brother. That's what this Michael, I'm telling you, man, these guys right here, men sharpen men, and these guys keep me sharp. We are wonderfully connected on a beautiful level of respect and love, and we are just amazingly blessed to be in each other's lives. I'm going to go ahead now, but I'm going to go back to Carolyn, if you have anything else you'd like to share. And you're looking at some of the comments that we're getting from Instagram?
Yes, I am. And Angel just responded saying, okay, thank you, in regards to the Clubhouse question.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So we're on Instagram right now. We're also on YouTube. We're also on Facebook, everybody. So we want you to definitely sign up on YouTube so we can send this over. I mean, we want to blow it up. We really want to get to the point that we're going for the millions. We're going for the millions. So we need your help. Everyone, every person counts. Your comments count. And I'm telling you, man, this is really, really getting bigger and bigger. And because of all of you that are supporting us, Malia just came in. Malia Jones, hello from Las Vegas, Nevada. And we have Detroit, Las Vegas on here. We have Newport Beach. We have Los Angeles. We have Detroit. We have what is this? Yeah, we have a lot. We have a lot of people here today, and we want to let you know that we do not take you for granted, because we know you could be doing something else. So
Yep.
really, I'm really so happy. This just fills my heart with love and respect for each and every one of you. Let's go ahead and add a couple of more things, because we're supposed to be giving you an hour of power. And we just are so excited. So here we go. We're probably going to go maybe a couple of minutes over, but we'll keep it as best as possible. One of the things that I want you to do to really take care of yourself is manage your stress, because managing your stress means that you're going to stay in the parasympathetic nervous system mode. That is, that you can relax and digest. And when you're all up and you're like, the fight or flight, that is the sympathetic nervous system. And that means that you are going to also secrete the hormone, which is called cortisol. And that's going to make you nice and round or pear shaped. And you don't want that. We want to keep that away from you. Stay as calm as you can. And that's why we eat those vegetables in the last part of your day, because those the fruits and the vegetables, when you eat that at the last part, the fruit in the morning, but the vegetables in the evening, because again, you are doing what? You are your body is converting very slowly to get some rest. I'm going to, if I can here, you probably hear me babbling, but I'm going to see if I can do this. Here we go. Yeah. I want you to. Okay. I'll come back around to this. I want to bring up a chart for you so that you will see this chart here. The main thing that I want you to keep in mind is this: is that you got to eat, you got to be cool, you got to be calm. If you're arguing, that's okay. An argument is all right, but it's when you quarrel, when you say things that you don't mean, when you get physical, when you start throwing things, when you kick things, when you hit, when you push, and when you say things that will hurt people. All of that is a part of not being in balance, and being not aware of your relaxing and staying relaxed as you talk, especially people that you respect. You're going to get in arguments. Like, I got brothers that I love to no end, and we've gotten in some really deep conversations. But to clench one's fist, or to use a weapon, or to do things that are hurtful and stuff, that is also a part of us. That's not separate from us. So when you're talking about, you can eat all the healthy food and do all the exercises that you want, but if you're not calm, you're still going to have problems. Why? Because you're interrupting the process. The process is metabolic processes, the anabolic and the catabolic. So these are things that you should be aware of. So make sure that you take time to manage your stress. So what is a plant-based diet again, so that you'll be very clear? The plant-based eating is a dietary approach that emphasizes the foods primarily derived from plants while minimizing or eliminating the consumption of animal products. Now, it includes a wide range of plant foods, such as our fruit, the apples, bananas, berries, oranges, and more. And fruit is an excellent source of essential vitamins and minerals. And they are high in fiber, which is super important, because 9 out of every 10 people have digestive disorders. And I'm talking about the population on the planet. And once we learn how to eat, and I'm talking about the entire population of the planet, we'll do better, we'll last longer, and we'll definitely be healthier. Eating a diet that's high in fruits and vegetables can reduce a person's risk of developing heart disease, cancer, inflammation, and diabetes. Super, super important. Let's go to legumes. Legumes, the beans are super important. They provide the fiber and protein and carbohydrates. They also provide the B vitamins. Now, B vitamins are super important for especially our metabolism. So, in order to get the food distributed to all of where it's supposed to, how it's supposed to be broken down and where it's supposed to go into the blood, how it is the operation or functionality of our organs. All of this, vitamin Bs are very busy, constantly keeping a balance there. Also, we need to have iron and copper and zinc and cobalt and manganese. All of these are important minerals or important nutrients that will keep the body very healthy. Now, legumes are naturally low in fat, and they're particularly free of saturated fat. Remember, saturated fat are those fats that solidify at room temperature. Now, with the exception of coconut oil, we want to definitely avoid that because it can be very, again, deleterious to our body and our health. The next thing, as far as whole foods are concerned, are whole grains. Even when you read that, you want to read the bread has whole grains. Okay, super important. So I'm talking about brown rice, quinoa, oats, whole wheat, whole grain pasta. All of these are great, and they are also calmatives, which means what? They're best eaten in the evening or the late afternoon because it helps us to relax. If you're eating proteins at the end of the day, what you're doing is you're eating foods that are giving you all this energy or alertness and the kind of food that is harder to break down. So a protein is larger and harder to break down than a carbohydrate molecule. Nuts and seeds. I'm talking about almonds and walnuts and flax seeds, chia seeds, and the rest of them. Those nuts and seeds are good sources of protein. Like I was talking to Amira, my beautiful daughter, just a few minutes ago. The chia seeds, the almonds and walnuts and filberts and all those other seeds are good sources of protein, healthy fats, and fiber, along with the vitamins and minerals. When I say healthy fats, remember those are the EFAs, the essential fatty acids. Now, this is super important, everybody, especially get you some avocado, the cold pressed avocado oil, because that's great for preserving a healthy brain. Now, when we get older and you're not taking care of your brain and you're still eating those street foods and all that food that's been dipped into those very hot greases, all the deep frying and stuff, guess what? You are increasing your chances of disease, infection, illness, and mortality, which means death. So you want to get away from that and start eating those foods that are helpful. You don't have to be on the dementia list. You don't have to be on the list where, people, you don't know who you're looking at. You don't know where you are. You do things out of confusion, and is like being, caught in a tunnel, floating around, and you can't get down to the ground, and you don't see any light at the end, and nobody can hear you. That's some scary ish. So you want to make sure that you are learning more and more about yourself, so that you can regulate your health, that you know what to put in your body, that you start these foods that we eat, the way that the foods, and listen to this, different foods aren't just there so that you can get a different taste. Different foods are here because they also have different purposes. Like there are our foods that have fiber in it, is great for our daily bowel movements. Also, we have fruit here so that we can have instant energy. And also, these are the true cleansers of the colon, fiber, and those things that help us to be regulated. So keep those things in mind. Food has a purpose. You shouldn't be eating food that you should be eating at the end of the day, at the beginning of the day. And you shouldn't be eating foods that you should be saving for your large meal earlier or later. See, it's a time, a certain time. Okay, how we doing on time? We're about 3 minutes after 9. I got a little bit more that I'm going to do, and then we're going to get on out of here. I'm going to see. Now this isn't working. I thought maybe I could bring it up again, but that's okay. We'll do it at another time. Now I got to get this out of here. Da, 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 da. Okay. So anyway, as I'm working over here with this, getting back where I need to be, there is a thing that I want you to also do, and that is to, if you haven't already, pick up my book, Slaves of the Tongue. I'm writing another book now, but pick up Slaves of the Tongue so that you'll be on your way to making better decisions. I really, really appreciate each one of you for getting the book already and starting. And thank you again with the Brian. Brian says, what are good vegetable replacements for animal protein? Oh, okay. Yeah, I think I've already gone through that, but I'll do it again. The good sources would be nuts and seeds. There will also be all of the very deep green vegetables, like in spinach and kale and arugula. Those are great sources. But to replace the meat, some of the foods that I would suggest would be tempeh, which comes from soy. I would also say tofu, and there's other seitan. Seitan is a type of protein, animal protein, and then there are other gluten. There are foods that are also made with gluten. Now, if you are celiac, then of course you won't be eating the gluten you want gluten-free foods. But there you go, Brian. Those are some of the foods. And remember, everybody, you don't have to do all this at one time. One of the things, I see Yolanda at work over here. One of the things that are that's very important is that you do it little by little. Michael Carlisle says, you're welcome, brother. You're welcome. What are your thoughts on colloidal silver and colloidal gold? I think that because humans are also made up of colloidal silver and colloidal gold. We have that already. We are part of everything. We are everything that was, everything that is, and everything that will ever be is right here. That's why we should understand our bodies more. Now, if you're taking it as far as a supplement, then just make sure that you just read the instructions and take a small amount, because some things become derogatory if we overdo it. Okay, so those things are that's very important to keep in mind, that you want to, like, all the stuff that, believe it or not, that's in the earth is in us. We are made of that. We are earthlings. And it doesn't seem like that because we're flesh and keratin and we're dentin and enamel, and we have bones and blood and all of that stuff. But we are incredible. You are incredible, and stay that way as we continue to bring you more and more information. I got a couple more things, and I'll get on out of here. Some of the benefits of your plant-based diet are the health benefits. The plant-based diets are associated with a wide range of health benefits. They are naturally low in saturated fats, and we talked about that earlier. And remember the vitamins and minerals. Remember also, they also reduce the risk of chronic diseases such as diabetes and certain cancers and obesity. I know that Diva D, you've been doing very good. Keep up that good work, sister, because you definitely jamming. Just make sure, again, do things differently. Change up. You might change up the food that you're eating. Change it up, meaning that you might want to start eating Eastern Indian dishes, or you might want to start eating Mediterranean, or different types of mix it up. That's why we should travel and learn about more around the world to get involved with with more things that are different than what we're used to. I'm going to bring Carolyn Gentle to the stage right now so she can reset it, and we're going to do about a couple of more minutes and then we out of here. Go ahead, Carolyn.
Yes, thank you so much, Dr. Zarif, and thank you to everyone here in the Mind of Nature. Topic today is how to begin a whole food plant-based lifestyle in 2024. I'm just loving the information that's going back and forth, the questions being asked, just everyone dropping comments, questions in the chat. Is just always so much fun when that's going on. Again, thank you all so much. And I just wanted to read from Angel in Instagram. And she says, since following you on Clubhouse in April, I have lost 30 pounds. Thank you for your knowledge and continuing your purpose to help others. I'm forever grateful. Happy New Year. Thank you so much, Angel. That's great. My congratulations to you for losing 30 pounds. That's incredible. And keep up the great work. Dr. Zarif? Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't give you enough chance to chew and swallow your food. And let me see. I think it's Shabak 3. You're welcome. Just mention where we can get the book. And if for anyone that's asking where they can get Dr. Zarif's book, Slaves of the Tongue, you can go to his, let me see, where's the best place? For Instagram, to click the link in the bio is the best place. And then also Dr. Farid Zarif, your website, right? Dr. Zarif would be the easiest way to get it.
DrZarif.com, yes.
DrZarif.com
So it's
would be
just
the best place to get it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm gonna just go ahead and put let me see it right there.
We'll put it up there for you.
It shows it at the bottom, DrZarif.com. For anyone that's interested in buying the book Slaves of the Tongue, that's a great place to get it. So
and we only have a few more books left. By the way, everybody, we got maybe 15 books left, and
yes.
You know, make sure that if you are serious about getting it, get it fast, because I take these books when I go and speak, and then I sell them where I speak, and I just always save just a little bit just in case we need that for some reason. So I want to be without any books. I want to get them in your hands. They're more valuable with in your hands.
Yes, there is a question. Yes, there's a question from Brian Curtis. He asked, "What does a typical day of meals look like for you, Dr. Zarif?" And I thought that was a great question.
Oh, okay. Let me see if I wanted to bring up for some reason I am having problems with my
being able to share.
Yeah, I am. I'm being. Oh, if I do it like this here. Yeah, being able to share is just not working. But what it looks like, Brian, is this. I'll just go over it. In the morning or the first hour that I get up, what I do is I have like a small meal, and a small meal it consists usually of fruit, raw fruit, and I'll have about 2 to 3 servings of that, along with maybe a hot cereal, and this will start my day off. Along with it'll start off with it initiates a bowel movement. All of us should be at our very first day when our very first hour is that we should start off anew, nice and fresh, just like we get in the shower and we get new clothes and we feeling good. And it's the same thing with our digestive system. After that, I have a couple of every 2 hours I have something, even if it's like nuts. I have raw nuts. I might have some dried raisins or cranberries and so forth, dried fruit, and I'll have just like maybe a little handful, and that's my meal for those, because I just finished eating, my first hour. So after I have those, after I'm up finished with that, what I do is I eat my large meal in the middle of the day. So if I get up at 6 a.m. at 12 p.m., I'm going to be eating my large meal in the middle of the day. And that's just like the climax or the the highest point of the sun, excuse me. And when the sun starts going down, so does my appetite and the foods that I eat. So what I'm doing now is I am eating after the largest meal. I allow 3 hours. So if you do like six, you get up at six, then you eat at six, between 6 and 7, and then between 6, 8, 10 a.m., 12 p.m., 3 p.m., and then your last meal is between 5 p.m. and cut off at 6 p.m. So it goes from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. Got it, Brian? That's right in there. So after your large meal, you wait 3 hours, then you're eating the vegetables. I eat like a salad or something like that, or a small amount of something like I might want to have, you know, uh, even if it's like brown rice, and it might be brown rice and vegetables or something of that nature. Then 2 hours after that, I'm eating my smallest meal, and the smallest meal is 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours before you go to bed. So you see, I know that's about that'll give you a good idea, and make sure that you drink water all through the day because everything includes water. Everything includes water. Thank you, brother. Thank you. You're more than welcome. I lost 14 pounds once without eating after 7. That's correct. Again, Yolanda Rogers, go on her, check her out on Facebook. She'll show you, or even on my page, she'll really show you the wonderful ways that she's just really lit up, and she's really taking care of business and having fun while she's doing it. I saw a lot of photos with she and her brother Joe, to whom we all love, for his birthday, and I said, "Wow, look at the difference! Incredible." Let's move on to a couple of more things. Brian, thank you very much for that question. Health benefits, we talked about that. The health benefits are very important, again, to lower disease and illness. That's why we're eating healthy, not because you were brought up by your mama and she used to always cook meat, and your daddy did this and all that. Those grow up. Let's go ahead and get a bigger purpose and start thinking not only for taste are we eating, but we're eating for the health and the avoidance of disease. We don't want that. Weight management is important too. DVD, this is for you. Plant-based diets can be effective for weight management. Now, the emphasis on whole, unprocessed foods and and the high fiber content help you feel
I'm
full.
sorry.
Full. That's okay, sweetheart. Help you to feel full and satisfied. Now, making it easier to control your calorie intake and maintain your healthy weight. So, weight management has everything to do with your plant-based lifestyle and when you eat, what you eat, and how much of it do you eat. You see, all of that's super important. Oh, thank you for that compliment, Brian. Thank you, my brother. That's why family is beyond description when it comes to how important they are. Thank you so much, and that's my brother. I thought I saw Nurse Shirley and Lee. Let me see, Shirley, brother. There's a doctor Cheryl Lynn Lee. Remember Dr. Michael Jackson's um, former uh, former one of the on his medical team. But anyway, sometimes I get those names mixed up. Let me see. Can we get a autographed copy when we buy it? Absolutely. Yeah, she talking about the books. You know, you got it. You got it. Yes,
And
I would.
in regards to the book as well, and I saw Shirley wrote that if we can get an autographed copy, and I was like, oh yeah, that would be great. And in Instagram, Shabak3, I hope I'm saying the name correctly, but she said, and thank you, just ordered the book. So she just ordered the book. So there you have your autographed copy for Shabak. I just wanted to
Oh, thank
add
you.
that to it. Thank you so much.
This book is so incredible. If you just take watch this. I'm going to take anything from this right here. This is some of the, this is on processed meat, the frozen meats, low fat foods, human body rhythms. I'm just going through here. Then I explain all of the fruit. I start in alphabetical order. Here, right at the top of the page, jackfruit, and it breaks down what jackfruit is. It's related to guava, but much bigger fruits that can grow up to 80 pounds in weight. Can you imagine that? Jackfruit can grow up to 80 pounds per jackfruit. And the taste is unique, and many Westerns find that they cannot enjoy them. What is that? But the Asian jackfruits are hugely popular. Oh, I see what it's saying. There are different types of jackfruit, and some aren't as tasty as others, but a certain kind, which is the Asia jackfruits, are very popular. And you can go all the way through this niacin. What is niacin? You know, most people only know what vitamin C is, you know, and that's kind of, they half do it, but niacin or nicotinic acid is another one of the B vitamins that may be linked to a neurological damage. And this is super important. Riboflavin, you hear that all the time, but that's a lack of riboflavin or vitamin B2 can cause retarded growth of children and infants. That typical symptoms such as anemia, rash around the nose, cracks on the outer edges of the mouth, and red inflamed tongue. So this is all in here. I talk about dairy products. I talk about hot cereals. I talk about dried fruits. I talk about fruits that you've never heard of before. The traditional ignorance, treating the sick from the sickest place in the city. That's like our hospitals. I'm really pushing for us to change. Why are sick people going to the sickest place in the city? And that's not to say that you shouldn't be going to the hospital, but we should have different ways to treat or to start to replenish the health of individuals before surgery, after surgery, and have a better understanding of what makes them healthy, like fresh flowers, for instance, better food. If you ever want to get sick for some food, eating at a hospital will speed it up. This is, boy, if you've ever had food from a hospital, you know what I mean. Okay, everybody. I'll end this off with the other things that are whole food plant-based for 2024. Your environmental stability. Remember, take time with the children. Take time and respect for your elders. Take time to visit one another. Take time to make that phone call. If you can't do that, you can at least text. Say hello to one another. It makes a real big difference, but human touch cannot be substituted. You also want to be aware of some of the ethical considerations that many people adopt the plant-based diets for ethical reasons. They align with the values that related to animal welfare, compassion, and reducing the harm to animals. Choosing plant-based food support a more humane and compassionate way of living. So let's move on to culinary variety. The plant-based eating encourages culinary creativity and variety. So get into that. That's very, very important. Chef Dom is definitely one of the great chefs that can. We'll have him one day when he has a chance to come in and talk about those things. And also, it's good for digestive health, reduce inflammation, and budget. A nice friendly budget. So it's budget friendly. All right, everybody. Thank you very much. We're going to get on out of here. Of course, we could have talked about more. Have a happy new year. And we just want to say we love you. We appreciate you. And please continue looking out. I'll be sending out these videos constantly. And thank you for those who have been supporting me so far with your likes. Please like the stuff, right? You know, that thumb is important. That's part of the language that we use on, social networking. We also need you to make comments. We also need you to share. All of that stuff you see is not just my thing, it's our thing, because I can't do it without you, okay? Carolyn, thank you very much, and Happy New Year to you. Everybody, we let Carolyn get the closing words, and thank you so much.
Yes, and Happy New Year's to you, Dr. Zarif, and everyone tuned in. Thank you all so much for joining us here in the Mind of Nature. Our mission is to bring awareness, listen to your feedback, and take action on the information that you received today. Health is wealth. And like Dr. Zarif says, the closer you are to nature, the healthier you will be. Happy New Year to everyone. You guys be safe out there when you're partying it up for the new year, whether it be in church, wherever it may be. Just have fun and a blessed new year to everyone. Thank you all so much. Dr. Zari.
Have a good one, everybody. God bless. And make sure that you know that we truly love you, and that's why we do what we do. Remember, everything that is happening to you is happening for you.